and we were exiting the bathroom, as one does.
Yeah.
whilst at a club.
And
What did you say to me?
no, so we were taking of pictures with our friend Lindsay,
Oh, is
and
that what happened? Okay.
yeah, and I hated all of them. And now looking at them, I realized why I said what I said. We took a picture and I saw it and I go, I hate my body. My ass was hanging out of my shorts and I thought it was my thigh.
Oh.
It was my ass. And I said, like, I hate my body, and this straight size woman is walking to the bathroom and she's like, what? Don't say that. And she like shoves me into the corner and gives me this pep talk about how beautiful I am and how blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember all the things she was saying. She's like, I used to hate my body, but you know what? If I could have like looked back and blah, like just going on and on. And sure, I shouldn't have said that about myself, but I was also like 20 tequilas deep and I had zero filter.
Right.
But also, it wasn't her business. I love bathroom talk.
I would also argue that you're also allowed to have bad days.
Yeah.
Where you don't like your body. So she was here's the thing. There were a lot of things being assumed because when I came over to try to save you, she then turned around to me and goes, and you're beautiful too. Don't forget it. And I was like, okay, whoa. I never said shit about my body. Now you're assuming again that like I'm not happy with who I am. And you're also assuming that Nikki isn't happy with who she is on the regular.
Yeah.
I know everyone is drunk in this situation.
But yeah, we were all very drunk.
There was just like a lot of like assumptions going on. And this is what I hate about like the body positive movement, even on Instagram and TikTok. It's this like, I don't know, this straight size people trying to come in and be like, don't worry, you're not fat, or don't worry, like you're beautiful. And it's all these like passive aggressive things that are still rooted in fat phobia.
Whoa. This woman said absolutely nothing about you two being fat. If she had, I guarantee you would have mentioned it. You were the ones assuming that because she is thin and you guys are fat, that she told you to be more confident because of your size. But there's no evidence for that.
Because like ultimately it just means that she's unhappy with who she is because she had to bring it up to you. Exactly what you're saying. Like I hated my body for so long, and it's like, well, it sounds like you probably still do, and you're projecting that on us.
Projecting, but I did say out loud, I hate my body.
Well, she projected it on me.
Yeah, she projected on you. I did say out loud, I hate my body, but it was not her business to give me the pep talk. And I thought I kind of said it under my breath. But she was like, if you look like this now, you like in your 20s, I'm sure you were blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you have no idea who I am, what I look like, what I've been through. Like,
wait. She was trying to say like you were skinny at some point?
No, she was trying to say that if like she was like, if you look this banging now, I'm sure you looked banging before, kind of thing.
Banging. I thought you said big.
No. No, she wasn't rude to me, like overtly, like in any ways, but she did try to insert herself in like into a conversation, and she felt the need to give me a pep talk when I did not ask for a pep talk, and I also had no option in the pep talk. I was shoved into a corner.
You were indeed.
So you being 20 tequilas deep and saying some derogatory things about yourself is excusable, but another woman reassuring you that you're beautiful while also drunk is her stepping out of line and discriminating against you? Here's the thing. Drunk women compliment each other all the time. As a woman who has been drunk in a bar, I have spent many a night in a restroom where a random woman will compliment me before stumbling out of the door. Completely unprovoked. It's just what drunk women do. So to be mad at this woman for complimenting you after you were already saying mean things about yourself makes no sense. And they said that people are allowed to have bad days, and she assumed that you dislike yourself all the time, and overall she was just making too many assumptions. No. From what I can see, you guys were making way too many assumptions. From making this whole encounter about your size, to saying that she shouldn't assume I hate myself all the time. Like, please listen to yourselves. Turn that insecure projection inward. and do some work into evaluating why you looked so deep into a very innocent encounter.
Mid-size for me is like a 14 to like 16, or a 12 to 16, where they're
But
like,
every plus size store starts at a size 12.
yeah. So like a 12, sure.
Okay.
Like wherever, if
Yeah.
you can fit in both straight and plus size,
Okay.
then you're
Okay.
mid-size. But I think a lot of people on the internet seem to classify mid-size as like a size 8. And it's like, that's not mid-size, you're a straight size. Like you can't fit in plus size clothing. So I don't know how that qualifies you. And it just really gets my goat because like, I don't know. Again, it feels like you're taking away things and like taking them over for like the straight size community. And it's like, you guys already have so much. And it's just like another thing that you're taking away.
I'm not going to get into the depths of the mid-size discussion. I have other videos on that. But I will say, people should stop using the term straight size. It's gross to even say out loud. Terms used in the LGBTQ community should not be co-opted for your pseudoscientific movement. And second, how is anyone calling themselves mid-size taking anything away from plus-size people? I can't think of a single reason why that would harm you.
I love to travel, and I think that the biggest thing for me that has been a worry for me as I've gained weight is that like not everywhere is the US, and the US is actually way more fat friendly than a lot of other countries.
Which is amazing because it's not at all.
No, there's fat phobia is raging here, but it's way more inclusive when it comes to like how things are built and how you can fit in things. And I know it's not everywhere, but it's way better than other places. So like my friends and I went to Iceland 2 summers ago. I had just gone through a breakup and I needed, some time away, obviously. And we went snowmobiling, and I was just like really, really nervous because I love doing stuff like that, but I'm always anxious that when I get there, they're going to be like, you're too fat to, you're too fat to ride this ride.
You need your own snowmobile. Nobody can ride with you. Kind of thing.
Well, and also you have to put on an outfit.
Oh, yeah. That would give me so much anxiety.
So much anxiety. I know. So like the whole time I'm like so nervous getting there. And I think like for me, that's like been a big thing. It's like, I don't think that people realize some of these things that like people that are plus have to think about or worry about, or call people ahead of time to ask them about. Like, I know I have friends who will call restaurants ahead of time to talk about like the chairs.
We've had people DM us asking about our seating.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, it's really fat friendly. You're good, girl. Yeah.
And I like, that has always like blown my mind because I have no ass. So, like it's not been a concern, but like sitting in a booth is uncomfortable for me because I have big boobs.
Okay.
So I think like, I get it. Like sometimes it's like
I've 100% had so many instances where I like barely fit in the chair. I had to stuff myself in the chair and just hope that I didn't have to go to the bathroom and nobody saw me like have to unwedge my hip to get out of it.
First of all, the US is the most fat-friendly country in the world because we have the fattest people in the world, not because other countries are more fat-phobic. They just have less of a need to make everything larger to accommodate their population. Second, not having to call restaurants and other businesses to see if they have items that fit you is not thin privilege. This entire episode is on thin privilege, and the thing is, if these women just talked about the anxiety they have when it comes to fitting in spaces at their size, I would take no issue with it. By all means, vent about your problems to people who want to listen. But where it goes wrong is when they turn it around and say, this is thin privilege, or thin people should be more aware of these issues. Like, no. These are your issues because you chose to be fat. And I say you chose to be fat because if you have enough money to go to Iceland, you have enough money to hire a therapist or a dietitian to lose weight, and you don't want to. Which is fine, but don't call the consequences of your own actions discrimination.
State was using billboards of like real fat children from their counties or whatever. and on it said like, I inherited green eyes from my mom and diabetes from my dad, and like all these things, because it's like they're trying to get the parents to stop feeding their kids pop, or like all the things that we weren't allowed to eat as kids, and because we were fat, quote unquote. And they were like, is that better for like the parent? Like it turns the parents into fat shamers of their children, and makes the children hate themselves, turns them into having eating disorders. And they were like, all these things that like just add up. And it's like, there's data proves that if you diet a ton, that you're more likely to gain weight in the end.
Yeah, because you yo-yo.
You're yo-yoing, yeah. And you're more likely to get diabetes. So there's just all these things, and it's like the thing that we needed was not a billboard. What we needed was a policy change, so like people could actually buy like fruit and stuff or make things more affordable, or not have subsidized wheat.
Telling your child that they are fat does not mean they are going to spend the rest of their lives hating themselves and yo-yo dieting. First of all, kids know they're fat if they're fat. They don't need their parents to tell them. And second, getting a child, especially a young child, to lose weight is really not that complicated. Just change the family diet and do some exercise and move on. And to the point that you are more likely to get diabetes or health problems from dieting, there's absolutely no evidence to back that up. And the last section of the clip really confuses me because she says that fruits and vegetables should be more available, which I agree. But she also said earlier that remaining fat is healthier than trying to lose weight. So is she saying that healthy foods do reduce diabetes, but they don't help people lose weight? Those two things are kind of contradictory.
It's just really interesting that all the stuff that would need to be fixed.
Yeah.
For them to stop calling it an obesity epidemic too.
So we actually like have this Instagram. We're trying to get her on, and it's called Fat Art History. And I'm like, I'm great with that. But there is another one that's becoming popular, and they use the word obese in it instead of fat.
Okay.
And that really made me cringe. And I had to take a step back. I was like, that's your own internalized fat phobia. Because I'm obese, according to like all the things.
To the BMI scale.
Yeah, I am obese. So, but this person is using obese instead of fat, and they're still putting these these obese bodies.
But can I stop you there? Because like technically you don't know if they're, I mean, I guess like by looking at someone, you technically can't tell if someone's obese because it's a math.
It is math, but anybody over like a size 10 is basically.
I understand that, but it's like, why are you making that assumption?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah, but these are fat people. Like they are like that they're posting. They're like usually mid-fats or bigger.
Okay.
In art.
Mm-hmm.
They're posting them in art, but it was like the word obese like made me upset. But fat art history, I'm totally good with. Like, and I had to like, and it, I have to think back and like, I don't know. I've been realizing more and more like internalized fat phobia I have.
Yeah, I think obese is a big one because it just makes it seem medical and like there's something wrong with you. Yeah. And because like essentially, I mean, again, obese doesn't mean that you're unhealthy.
I think I'm technically morbidly obese.
I mean, the scale is insane of like what it can and can't be. But it's like, I mean, more obese doesn't mean that I have blood, I don't have high cholesterol. I don't have, all of those issues that like we automatically assume obese means we're medically incapable of doing anything.
These women said that they don't like the word obese because it medicalizes fatness, but fatness is a medical problem. They're basically saying that they don't think fat should be considered medically relevant, but it should be. Look at the rates of disease compared to the rates of obesity. There is more than enough correlation to show that being obese is unhealthy. I think these women would like to spend their entire lives blissfully unaware of the health consequences of their size, and the word obese doesn't let them do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, like, will one day obese be an interchangeable word for fat?
Maybe. I think a lot of people don't mind saying that they're obese now, because we all know that BMI is a completely stupid, made up way to put someone on a scale of what is that even doing?
Yeah.
Because it's not a real register of health. So I don't understand. There are other ways to find out if I'm unhealthy. So why are we using BMI as the one?
Okay, that's where you're messing up. The BMI is not the measure of health, it is a measure of health, along with a bunch of others like blood pressure, glucose levels, etc. And if you want to call weight a made up measurement, then you have to call all of the other ones fake too. So.
Even having this podcast and stuff, a lot of stuff has started annoying me more. You know, like I'm thinking about it more. I'm realizing it more. Also being on social and stuff, like originally when I would post, like when I first started doing this and I would post pictures of me in like my underwear or in a bathing suit and people would be like, oh my God, you're so confident and like all this stuff. I took it as a compliment. And now I see it as a microaggression, but I didn't realize that before. I'd be like, oh my God, thank you. I know I am, right? And it's like, well, why am I confident?
Yeah.
Because I know why people say it. It's because a lot of, like, if skinnier women say to me, they'll be like, well, it's because I would never do it, because they don't feel good about themselves and they can't imagine someone who's bigger than them feeling confident enough to do it. That's why they're saying it. I get like where you're coming from. And I get why you see it as a compliment, but it's like I'm just existing in this body and trying to be confident in the way that I am. And you saying like, oh my God, you're so confident for doing something that like you wouldn't compliment a smaller woman for is annoying.
Yeah.
I think this clip highlights the harm in these types of spaces that fat activists occupy, because she said she didn't used to take offense to people calling her confident, but when someone told her that she should be offended by it, then she saw it as a microaggression. Someone complimenting you for wearing a bikini is not a microaggression. It may be in poor taste, and it could be done passive-aggressively, but it isn't a microaggression. Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching. And thanks for all the support on the change of format to my videos. I originally used the text-to-speech voice because I didn't think people would care that much about the opinions I was giving in the video, and I also didn't expect nearly as many people to watch them. So typing out my responses and putting them in a text-to-speech filter seemed reasonable for the 30 people I thought would be watching my videos. But this channel has taken off so fast and I didn't expect it. This format of video hasn't really been done before, so I couldn't have even imagined having as much support as I've gotten for these videos. So thank you so much for watching them. I love reading your comments, so please leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next video.